Of course, when you're working here, not knowing anyone, without a godfather, and I'm saying as a matter
Yeah.
of fact, I don't, the no emotion attached, plainly just, but it is very challenging. It is very challenging because when a film does well, great, but when your film doesn't do well, you
Yeah.
don't have many options which you feel justify you as an actor.
Yeah.
You can't change the fact where I come from. Proudly I come from. That's a fact ना है ये fact, तो उसमें accept करने में क्या problem है? And even if I feel okay, you know, had I been from the industry, तो ये मुझे मिल जाता.
Yeah.
नहीं तो फिर मुझे ये पर्सपेक्टिव नहीं मिलता जो मेरे पास है. मुझे शायद ये फैमिली नहीं मिलती जो मेरे पास है. मैं नहीं होती अगर ऐसा वैसा होता, और मुझे मेरे जैसा ही रहना. देखो, मैं पहले भी पार्टीज में नहीं जाती थी, मैं आज भी नहीं जाती हूँ, तो पता नहीं बिहेवियर कैसा चेंज हुआ होगा.
It's a new decade in Bollywood and women are completely changing the narrative. In 2019, we had several actors who turned out to be game changers. Yami Gautam made a special place in the audience's heart with the terrific performances in Uri and Bala. Today we have Yami joining us for a special conversation only on Pink Villa Game Changers. Welcome, Yami.
Thank you, Nadi.
How have you been from the last conversation to now? I think professionally a lot has happened and I'm really happy for you. I remember that Surili had said that Bala will be that game-changing moment for Yami and that is her best performance. I concur. I think you were amazing in Bala. What was your game-changing moment in life and professionally, you know, in the last year?
I think Surili is too sweet and she's too cute. Bala for sure. I think Bala and Uri dono. I think पिछले साल we started with Uri.
Yeah.
The film did really monstrously well, and not just well, but also the kind of respect that it garnered. I think that was really
Absolutely.
special. Bala changed, I think, a lot of things about me. Something which I've been trying to express,
Yeah.
not by words, not through words, no, but by work, and which is eventually 2019 got
Yeah.
me. And I'm so happy that it happened with a film like Bala, because the subject for it was, the script that it was, the narrative, the director, the team.
But you know, the success of Uri and Bala, do you see a perception change? Last time we had met, you had said that, you know, it was difficult. There was a phase in your life when it was difficult for you after your first film and other films had released. Do you see a perception change in the industry about you?
Of course, there's a time, you know, which is, you call that phase of your life where, which can still come, which can come again. I mean, who knows that what film is going to work and what film is not going to work? Not all your films can be a success, but what experience teaches you that how to deal with your film not doing well, or something which makes you perhaps uncomfortable. You know, we all want our films to do well. It just becomes a bit more challenging because, of course, when you're working here, not knowing anyone, without a godfather, and I'm saying as a matter of fact, I don't, the no emotion attached, plainly just, but it is very challenging. It is very challenging because when a film does well, great, but when your film doesn't do well, you don't have many options which you feel justify you as an actor. So that becomes challenging. So, and I feel, and after 2019, definitely there's been a shift, I would say,
Completely
in a perception. But I'm not feeling something that, oh, some sun has risen over me and all that. I was very happy before. I'm confident about the potential I hold as an actor.
Of course.
And I feel it's only your talent which is going to take you ahead from your one Friday to another. I'm not somebody who believes too much in, okay, let me try and plug this point about myself when it comes to PR or it comes to, and I don't judge those also who do it, because we're living in very challenging times. Of course, every generation brings a change with themselves, but we're living in times where you're not just an actor. I mean, I've said this before and it's true. You are expected, you have a team, you have an entourage, you have a PR team, you have a social media team, you have a management, you have so many things that you're parallelly doing. And so it's not easy, you know. So the whole challenge of there being so much competition now, you yourself knew, okay, you've been there for a while also, now there's another set of actors coming,
Yeah.
and so how do you find your place in this whole clutter?
Yeah.
And some really talented people also, and the only answer is your faith and your belief
And your
in
confidence.
yourself. That's
Of
it.
course. But Yami, tell me something. You mentioned that, of course, you've made it so big in life without any kind of piggybacking from anybody. And it takes a lot to be self-made. Do you feel that the situation that you are in would have come earlier to you if you had a godfather? Like, they talk about nepotism so much and it's become another huge debate. Do you agree with that?
There is no fight here. Nobody's fighting.
Yeah, nobody's a victim of nepotism.
You can't change somebody. You can't change the fact if somebody is born in an industry. That's not something anyone has control over.
Yeah.
You can't change the fact where I come from. Proudly I come from. That's a fact ना है ये fact, तो उसमें accept करने में क्या problem है? But अगर आपको वो opportunity मिल रही है, the only thing is that you can't take anything for granted today.
True.
That's about it. And even if I feel okay, had I been from the industry, तो ये मुझे मिल जाता.
Yeah.
नहीं तो फिर मुझे ये पर्सपेक्टिव नहीं मिलता जो मेरे पास है. मुझे शायद ये फैमिली नहीं मिलती जो मेरे पास है. मैं नहीं होती अगर ऐसा वैसा होता, और मुझे मेरे जैसा ही रहना.
That's so sweet. Yami, they say that every actor is evaluated on the basis of the Fridays they have. You have had 2 wonderful Fridays. You have seen what a Friday can do and can't do. Tell me something. Have you noticed any changes in the way people behave around you today? Has there been a change in, not perception, I'm talking about people's behavior. Right after Bala and Uri, you've delivered almost 400 crores at the box office.
देखो, मैं पहले भी पार्टीज में नहीं जाती थी, मैं आज भी नहीं जाती हूँ, तो पता नहीं बिहेवियर कैसा चेंज हुआ होगा.
The producers, maybe filmmakers.
See, I'm not somebody who can actually, put out a message, which is, again, there's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
And say that, I'd love to work with you, unless I know somebody really well. So there's no question of a shift in behavior, because wherever I go for meetings or narrations, we know that it's already planned, it's already scheduled. But but yes, what I can definitely add, I think people were always very cordial, and the 2 things. A, I'm not somebody who's very, very social.
Yeah.
Of course, socially I know everybody, but to the extent that, I can talk about work, I can talk about a couple of things, but nothing. That's the way I am.
Yeah.
I'm a slightly private as a person, but that's fine. That's one aspect of it. But what I do appreciate, and I acknowledge the fact that, of course, wherever, socially move around and, you have certain get-togethers, it's nice when people talk to you and appreciate your work.
True.
And that is what, that means the world to me. And when a compliment is just words,
Yeah.
and when a compliment comes from the heart. That is so endearing. That is something which is a huge takeaway. So behavior has always been nice, but it's what they talk to you about, what they tell you, and how much they mean is what I'll always carry. And when your contemporaries message you, or they tell you, some directors, producers, everybody, fraternity, like yourself, media, you feel good.
The best thing about you is that you have retained your individuality in a world that people think of, relate to with are only fake air kisses, How many times have you been told to behave a certain way and not be this, like you said, that not be yourself, which you have completely not listened to? How many times have you been told that in the last maybe decade that you've been changing the game?
What happens is that suggestion or whatever, that conditioning of, that's the way you should talk or be or dress or approach or say or do this film, don't do this film. That's coming out of their experience of what they've seen that works around, probably for a lot of people in the industry. That majority, this is what works.
Yeah.
Probably because you're not aware of it, because we are from inside the circle, we know. Now, I have to decide. I have to figure, yes, there are times, of course, when I was new in the industry, आप भी सोचते थे अच्छा ठीक है मैं फिर ये फिल्म करती हूँ और ऐसा ठीक है यहाँ okay I have to be seen here, okay I'll go there. So but then if I have to put out a message to somebody, okay, that's probably the
Yeah.
way it is, because how will the other person know that you want to work with so and so? But then you realize that is why for me that phase I'll always respect. That is what taught me all the more to be yourself, because only things which come naturally to you, which come naturally to me as Yami, will work in my favor. But yes, having said that, it's very important to evolve also.
Yeah.
I know how I used to dress up a couple of years back. I'm not, which is fine, which is sweet, but it's important you realize that fine line and balance.
Yeah.
What I have to learn, what I have to work on myself, how do I have to groom myself, how do I have to learn a lot of things.
Yeah.
And these are the things, but which should not be touched. This is fine the way it is. It worked for me. It is working for me and will always work for me.
And on that note, we'll move on to the second segment, which is going to be really, really interesting because you are going to be a jury member.
Oh, I thought you were saying it's interesting. You're going to win something for playing no game.
That's
So,
so like I told you guys, now Yami is going to become a jury member. As in, so this segment is called Yami Picks. So Yami, you have to pick 5 top actors, top actresses, like top performances basically, top directors and top films of 2019. So let's go with the film first. So what are the 5 films that you've loved?
okay, so Uri Bala, Gully Boy, and I like Badla also. And there's a film that I've watched which is OTT platform count.
Yeah, you can say.
There's a film called Sony. In
Yeah.
a very subtle sort of a way, they gave a message about women empowerment
Yeah.
or the position of women even in today. In a very subtle kind of a way.
Yeah.
So I really like that.
Is there any film that you have loved and you wished you could be part of the film? Like you think that you can do that role really well?
See, I'd love to do a thriller. So maybe I'd love to work with like Shujoy. I love Kahani and
Yeah.
I even really like Badla. So anything. So I don't get into these questions. I would have played, of course, any film you do, you want to give in your best.
Yeah.
So, but that I'd love to work with Zoya. I think I've given more than what
Yeah.
you've asked.
So let's move on to the best directors. Who do you think have been like great directors last year?
Aditya Dhar, Amar Kaushik,
Of course,
proudly can say. Of course, Zoya.
both the A's.
Yeah, both the A's. Zoya,
for Gully Boy.
for Gully Boy, for sure. In 2019, I haven't watched actually many films.
So now we move on to the best actors, male. Let's keep the best actors female for the last.
I think Vicky, for sure. Ayushmann.
Aishman for which
Um,
one? There's so many.
Ayushmann for, I think, Bala. Not saying because I was a part
Yeah.
of it. I told him also, I genuinely feel that this was one of his best performances.
It was.
Bala. Ranveer. And I haven't seen Kabir Singh. I haven't watched. But I've heard that Shahid was really good
Yeah, he was.
in the film. There's another film which I haven't watched, but I'd like to mention. Section 375.
Yes.
And I really love Akshay Khanna. I think he's a terrific actor.
You have to watch that film.
I am definitely going to
It's
watch
a brilliant
that film.
thriller.
Yes, and I forgot to mention it in one of my, that'll be probably to watch films. And so, yeah, these actors.
And now coming to the last one, which is best actress. Of course, considering you are there,
No, I'm not. No.
you have to be there.
I'm not shamefully.
Okay, we'll take 5 more apart from you.
I think Taapsee.
For she had
Taapsee.
had 4 releases.
Taapsee, Badla was interesting. I haven't seen actually the rest. So, I'll say Taapsee for Badla.
Badla.
She was good. I haven't seen Mission Mangal, but I love Vidya.
Yeah,
So
she was
Vidya, for
brilliant in
sure.
that film.
Bhumi, again, I think Bhumi actually, I haven't watched Son Chidiya, but I've heard she was really good in
Yes.
Son Chidiya.
Yes. You said 3.
3. And Gully Boy, Alia, I think she
Yeah.
was really good. Who else?
This is the 5th one.
Okay, let's give it to Kangna and PC. Both, regardless of films, they're both, of course, terrific actors and one of the biggest stars that we have. And one of those actresses, be it Kangna, be it Vidya, be it Priyanka, Deepika,
Yeah.
who really all of them have in their own ways,
Yeah.
you know, contributed to this whole thing about in the new age generation of pushing and trying and being examples for all of us, you know, to take headstrong and fight for better roles, to stand by
Absolutely.
them and be happy for each other. So I'm happy for each one of them. I'm proud of each one of them, and we should support each other.
And thank you for this. We will move on to the final segment where we'll discuss how life is going to be this year.
Okay.
And so after a glorious 2019, it's time to ask Yami how 2020 is going to be. So have you finalized your next few projects? Is there a particular plan that you've put in place?
Two things. There's a film that I finished last year itself, which is called Guinea Wet Sandal.
Yes.
That's with Vikrant Massey. Again, I feel Vikrant is a terrific actor,
Yes.
and we had a great time working together. It's a film, it's a take on new age romance set in Delhi. But in Vicky Dono, I was more like C.R. Park, Oshima Roy.
But you were Bengali.
Bengali. And this one, she's a more West Delhi girl and Guinea. Apart from that, I'm on the verge of finalizing my next two films, and both they're going to be very different space from each other from what I've done before. And
Is there a thriller there?
let's keep a suspense.
But you know, come 2020, I'm hoping and I'm pretty sure that even next year we'll have you sitting here with some amazing performances and changing the world and the game like you have always done. So if you had a wish list for yourself, what would it be, personally and professionally?
पता नहीं, I don't know. Personally तो पता नहीं. Personally हाँ, I'm very happy. I'm just very happy. मैं ऐसी हूँ.
Touch me.
ऐसी, thank you. ऐसी रहना चाहती हूँ. Simple, happy in my own world. मेरे लिए चंडीगढ़ जाना बहुत ज़रूरी है. मेरे लिए हिमाचल जाना बहुत ज़रूरी है. Being a Himachali and brought in Chandigarh,
Yeah.
they hold a very important place in my heart. So that's my wish list when it comes to go places. And
Yeah.
Professionally, obviously, whatever work, I hope to get further, better and amazing opportunities to work with some really good directors, writers, to do some really great parts.
You know, Yami, it's easy to be a successful star, but it's not easy to let that stardom not get to your head. And it's so amazing to see somebody as grounded as you. And we will hope and pray that you continue changing the game like you did last year, every year from now. All the best, and thank you for this lovely conversation. It was lovely having you here.
Thank you, Nayan. Thank you so much for being so kind with your words. You've always been so warm to me, my sister Surili, and she loves you. She especially told me to say a big hi to you.
Tell her that we have to make that movie plan with you. We'll go for a really bad film with you.
Okay.
I've told her this.
Done. I hope it's not one of mine.
No, to gauge your reactions, we have to go and see
Okay.
the film movie with you.
Done. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hi guys, I'm Yami Gautam and you're watching me on Pink Villa. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe.